If you haven't already heard of Baroness Michelle Mone, she's a bottle blonde businesswoman that made her fortune out of lingerie, dodgy diet pills and fake tan. Quite how that qualifies her to sit in the House of Lords is anybody's guess. You'd have to ask David Cameron about that, as he's the one who gave her a peerage. If you can find him. He seems to keep quite a low profile these days, probably wise, given that half the country carries a seething grudge against him for holding that Brexit referendum. And whilst you shouldn't judge people, she already seemed like quite a sketchy character before you even hear about her involvement in the PPE scandal. It's been alleged in the mainstream media over the last few days that she and her children received a £29 million bung for lobbying the government to grant a £200 million PPE contract to the very suspect company PPE MediPro, a company that wasn't even registered until the pandemic was in full swing and popped up out of nowhere right when there was mountains of cash to be made. Our government at the time used £122 million of taxpayers' money to purchase 25 million surgical gowns from MediPro, which upon inspection were found to be unfit for purpose and subsequently never used. Now, in the real world, if you or I buy faulty goods, we're entitled to a refund. But apparently when our government hands over mountains of taxpayers' money to shady criminals in exchange for worthless trash, we're not entitled to expect a penny of it back. This is only scratching the surface, of course. Reportedly, the government has written off a total of £9 billion spent on useless PPE equipment. But this MediPro story is the first instance in which we're able to get some idea how these disgraceful transactions took place and where the money ended up. Surprise, surprise, a big chunk of it ended up in a crooked Tory peer's pocket. And much of this useless PPE is still being kept in storage for some insane reason at a cost to the British taxpayer of £770,000 per day. And now that a load of thieving Tory piggies have completely emptied the trough of taxpayers' money, it is of course time for Jeremy Hunt to ramp up taxes, to bleed us all dry, to satiate the disgusting limitless greed of these vile people, lying through their teeth, defrauding the British taxpayer, piling money on top of money, while decent hard-working people struggle hopelessly with an out-of-control cost of living crisis. Lock these crooks up, because this isn't government anymore, it's organised crime.